Hello, welcome back. So in today's episode, we are just going to try to finish up most of the things. We just make sure that we have most of the things working at least in this episode. So first, I want to work on the market page. Okay, so we'll work on the market page, and then from there we shall complete also the the product page. You can see this is a product page. So from the product page where we fetch even similar products and so on and so forth. So from that we shall also go ahead and work on the farmers onboarding page. We convert it into a step-by-step form, and then that one will again log in and work on the admin analytics, and we shall see if we can manage to do those things. Okay, so let's start. Since we don't have time, let's start with this, the market shop. So if I go inside the front end, not inside the components in the app, front end, I have here the market, and then inside the market I have this page, market page. So the first thing I'm just going to do, I'm just going to go to the markets and connect to this page. Okay, so I'm just going to go to where are markets. So there is a way to see the markets is going to the home page, and I have this market list. So let's go to this market list, and then inside we have this market carousel, and then inside that we have a link here. So just change this to, so just going to change this link to go to markets. Okay, are they called markets? Let's first confirm if the folder is called markets. So it is called market, then slug, so market, and then slug, and then here you can just have market dot slug. Okay, so this one is enough. Now if we just go ahead and refresh this page and click on a single market, it should now be able to take us to a single market page. Okay, so just go to this, just going to click on any of these ones. Okay, so you can see we are on market Bevimo, and we are on this market page. Okay, so market page is made up of two things. If I just go back to the market, so I'm just going to give it a class name. Let's say it has a flex, and maybe in the left part we have width. In fact, we could just use grid. So just say grid. Okay, and then we say grid cores, and here I'm just going to give it 12 columns, and then this first one I'm just going to give it grid grid span something, is it core span. I'm just going to give the first one to have the core span of 2, and then the other one I'm just going to give it core span of 8, just like that. Okay, and in this one let's go ahead and give like a padding y of 8. And then in this first one, if you just look at the design, the design is this one. We have a logo, Okay, so I'm just going to start with the logo. So on top here, I'm just going to have image. Okay, from next image, so you can just have a width of like 50, height of 50. We can have alt, then we can go ahead and we can have a class name, which is going to be like, we give it some width. So just say we give it width of something like 14 and height of 14. Okay, and then rounded full, we can give it rounded full. You can also give it object fit, cover. Okay, and of course not forgetting the source. Okay, so not forgetting the source. I wish I could just have like any image I can put here. From the fabric, what do we have? I have this image of tomato. I'm just going to use that slash tomato dot webp. So I'm just going to use that. Okay, so after that, after this, we have the title. So I'm just going to have h2, which says, for instance, okay, so you can have this, which is like Sprout Farmers Market, Sprout Farmers Market. Okay, so this one I'm just going to give it a class name of padding y, maybe 4. Okay, and then down I'm just going to have a p tag, which is going to be, we can just try it on them. Okay, so down here, after that, we can give it, what can we give it? So after this, all these, so I'm just going to put all these ones in sort of a div. Okay, I'm just going to put them in a div. Then after those ones, I'm just going to put down, so you can minimize this. So down here we can put dot flex we could just put another div that is having a bunch of links. So just going to say link from next link. Okay, and you can just say here category 1. Okay, and href. So here I'm just going to put href. Okay, and then I'm just going to to give this a class name of padding y, maybe 2. So you can just put as many as possible here. Okay, so far that is the one. So on this page I'm also going to fetch all the categories. Const or all categories is going to equal to await get data. So you're just going to go ahead and fetch all the categories for now, categories, and make this page async. So we have now these categories, so we can go ahead in this space and we map through them. So if you go back to this, I can just go and copy this block here. This is where we have all the categories mapped. So inside here, I'm just going to have this to be all categories. Okay, so let's see so far what we have. So far this, we have this something like this. Category list is not defined. Okay, let's get this component. Okay, let's go ahead and see. Okay, okay, so we have the categories here. So I don't know why we have all this much space. I can confirm by giving it some different color. So you can just say BG green, maybe 600, and this I'm just going to give it BG blue, maybe also 600. Let's first look at that. Okay, so this is how it is designed. So let's say this comes from the layer, I guess. Let's see. Let's see, where does it come from? If you just go back to the layout, it is having this MLX6 auto PX PY. Let's say here we give it with this full. I don't know if that one can help. Nope, it is not helping. I don't know why is leaving this whole entire space. Because on the home page, if we just go back like on the home page, let me duplicate this. Let's check the home page. You can see the home page is well balanced, is leaving little space. I don't know why. Let me see the home page here. Okay, so I'm just going to go to this page. The market page, and maybe can I copy this, put it in another div? I'm not sure why really like it is behaving, it is leaving all that space. There's a lot of space left to this side. I don't know if I should use Flex. They could also use Flex. Let's see, what do we use on this? We could use the same thing we used on this three. What did we use on the hero section? Let me see. Go to home, and let's go to the hero. Just want to see what we did in the hero. So we also had grid called h gap and blah blah. Okay, so we have here call span full, and then these ones just like that. Okay, so we have this. Grid calls 12, so here we have the same thing. Let's just go ahead here, and we can remove this extra div that we had put. So we have grid calls 12, padding have gap and this. So the first one we just simply put there. So this one we are giving it, don't understand, this one is not having any columns. Okay, so if I just think you check in the sidebar, it must be having the columns. It has 3, so we have call span 3. Okay, in fact this one I just give it this. Can give it this one. So this first one is going to have something like this. Okay, and the second one should have something like this. Now since, let's just see, this is the first one, and then we have this. So this one must be correspond maybe 9, since the other one has 3. Yeah, I guess we should be okay, but I guess like it is the same. Okay, so at least now we have it balanced. Okay, yeah, so I just make it this one to take 2, so just take 2. and then this one should take 10. Okay, and let's work on the gap. So here just say put the gap of about 1 rem, maybe. Just put a gap of 1 rem. Okay, let's just see here. Okay, so we have a gap. It could even be 2 rem, I guess. So you can just make this one gap 6. Okay, so now we have at least a primary structure of what we exactly want. Okay, so I'm just going to put this in the center. Let me just work on this sidebar, and we can see how we are going to organize it. So first of all, make sure this one is in the center. So I'm just going to go to the first one and let's work on this. So we have this. Okay, so for the image, so image, let me just put in flex items center dot justify. Okay, so I'm just going to put it, inside here. Okay, and let's see if it can be in the center, and let's give this a padding, a little bit like a padding, I guess. Yeah, you can see it is in the center, and let's give this whole entire thing some padding. Okay, so let's just give padding of maybe 4. Okay, so it has some padding now. And let me just make this one somehow a little bit bigger than that. 16, I'm not sure if 16 is there. So these ones, I'm just going to give them text SM. Even these ones, text SM, and we have to give them some also. Okay, let's see. Okay, so let's work on the text. So we have dark BG, so we could also have like the text. Okay, so text slate maybe 800, and in dark we just say text slate maybe 200. Okay, so we already have this here. Remove it, and let's put like the one for the dark. Okay, so for this H2, I'm just also going to give it text center. Okay, I'm just going to give it text center, and we see that. Okay, and then for this description, I'm just going to give it a line clamp. I don't know if it is called line clamp, so I'm just going to clamp it to maybe 2. Okay, just like that, so that we have the categories down here. Okay, so you can see now it has been clamped, and let's give it some sort of padding. In fact, we could just give it a margin bottom of 4. Okay, and then we can have these different categories. Okay, we can have these different categories we have down here. Okay, I don't know where this one comes from. I have category 1, category 1. So let's also make these all of them to have text same. Okay, okay, great. Now just going to give it maybe just flex score and gap of 2. Okay, just like that. That's too much. I think just because of this padding, I guess. We can just remove the padding and we remove gap and we stick to padding. I don't know. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is to do the same filter for these categories. First of all, if a category has no less than 4 items, we should not show it. Okay, so that's what I'm just going to do, and we had already that logic, especially on the categories. So if you just remember, we have these categories. Just copy this and simply bring it on top here, just like this. That means here we change it to categories. We can change this to categories. So we should have the ones which have few items, they should be taken off. Okay, let's wait and see. Okay, so the ones we have now, they have 4 items. Okay, now I think I would like to show only 3 items. Okay, I would like to show 3 items. You can see these ones are really like fixed, and maybe also the gap. So if you go to this category list, let's look at how it is designed. The text in this category is carousel, and by the way, here we can just also always have this link to the category. So let me just put this. This one should always link to the category page. So like we can just say category and then slash category.slack, just like that. Since we have the category here, we can just like link to this. Okay, so if we look at the carousel, let's see the carousel. Um, so this is the one which is, I think, governing how many slides we see. So we have two choices: either we go ahead and remove we can either go ahead and get another stuff, we could either make another carousel, or we could just reuse this very one. Okay, how are we going to handle that? Alternatively, let me see. So here we have the categories here, just like this. So what is showing is this is what is only changing here, and we could just have one thing coming here and saying is market page. So you could just come here and say is market page. Okay, and by default let's set it to be false. Just select that. I'm just going to set it false by default, and I'm just going to come in and say if is market page. If market page is true, then we can just like do something like this. If the market page is true, we show 3 items, else we can show 4, something like this. And you can see we have the category carousel, so it means we have to pass it in here. So let's start from where we are actually coding them. So for instance, on this page we are only calling this categories. So here we can decide to actually say is market page, and we just say the even if here we don't provide this, but just say here market is false. Okay, so just copy this, go to the category list, receive this. Okay, just receive is market page. So we have to pass this to the category. This is market page is equal to market page is equal to is market page, just like that. And this is where we are having it here. Now we can just go to this page, and here we're just going to pass in is market page to true, and we should have now 3 items. Let's wait and see. Nothing has changed. Okay, so there are 3 items now. Great. Okay, so that is really great. That's great. So now what we need is, of course, we could go ahead and you change all these under this category carousel. You could just go ahead and change these ones the way you can see them here. If it is true, let's say this one's 2, this one's 3, and finally we can just put this one and just leave that on the way it is. But at least now we have the carousel and all these products. So now what you are remaining is, first of all, let me just remove that background of blue. So if I just go to page, let me just remove this blue, and I can remove that blue. I don't know, is this margin somewhere? I don't know why they are not on the same line. Let me see. Are they being affected by this padding 8? Okay. Yep. So I like the page so far. So first of all, we need to get the actual details of this. Okay, let's first get the actual details on this page. And since we're using the slug, I can easily extract the params, and then from the params I can get the slug. Now we could just first confirm if we have this API existing. So go to the APIs and we have market, and we should have, instead of ID, we need to get the one for the slug. Now there is nowhere we have used yet that, so I'm just going to rename this instead to slug. Okay, so inside this slug, I'm just going to go here and get these params, and I get slug instead. Then here I'm just going to find the unique slug. So everything should remain exactly the same. Only the delete. We cannot do that, guys. Let me just first go back. Okay, so this, we are using it in the detailed page, so this one should go back to ID, otherwise we are going to get issues. We are using it on the CRUD, deleting and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to put another one, market. I'm just going to create a folder here, and I call it details, and then I'm just going to say stroke. I will create another folder called slug, and then I will have route dot not ts js. Okay, so I'm just going to create other folders like this, copy this, and let's drop it in just paste it inside this. They have like route.ts. Just delete this. Let me just rename this to route. Okay, so here we can just use this slug, and then here we can just go ahead and say slug, and then we have the market just like that, and I can just go ahead and remove all these other ones. I don't want delete. So now I have details, or I have market, details, then slug. So I'm just going to go ahead and go to the API. For instance, this is Devmo. I'm just going to copy that. Let me duplicate this, and let's go to API. I'm just going to go to API. Instead, just going to go to markets. Then we have details. Then we have this. You see if I can just get a single market using the slug. Okay, so you can see we have this market. Great, so I'm just going to copy this. Okay, so we have to go to markets. So back to the page. We have this slug, and we're just going to go ahead and get const the market. So the market is going to be await get data, and let's pass in this. So this is going to be something like this, get, and then here I'm just going to say dollar slug details slug here. Okay, so we should be able to get the market. Okay, and the most thing we just need from the market, if you look at it, of course we can put the title, the slug, and then what it is, logo URL. So I can replace, for instance, the logo. So come here and let's put market.logo URL. The alt is going to be market.title. Then this is going to be market.title. Okay, and then finally we just have market.description. Okay, we should have some changes now. Okay, we should have some changes, the logo to change or something. Okay, so we have this one changing, even the logo have changed. Then here we have market description here, so that is the one we had to put. Okay, so at least now we have some things going on. Now what are we going to do to these categories? Okay, we need to add gap. Oh, so is this because I removed the padding? Where did I remove padding? Where was it? This one here. It was padding 8. I think we could even give space XY. Okay, so that's great. Now what we want is, if we just go here and we look at the categories that are inside this market. So this market comes with categories. We can get those categories, and we say const market categories. Okay, maybe categories ID. So you just going to say, we can just say something like market dot category IDs, category IDs. So you can just go ahead and console.log this one so that we look at them. What is that? So if you just go here and say console.log market categories IDs, market category IDs, just you can just simply copy this. Let's go and see this. So you can just go to the terminal. Let's go on the terminal and see. Compiling. Okay, so you can see we have the array. Okay, we have the array here containing 4 categories. So the hard task is to actually find those categories. Okay, so I'm just going to try to do a filter. If we are successful, we can have them. So say const market categories. Now market categories, and this one is just going to be, I think, got from down here, because we have to actually filter the categories. So const market categories is going to be categories. Okay, it's going to be categories dot filter. So you're filtering, and inside here we have access to a category. And what do we want to return? This is the one where we do the logic. So we could just say, for instance, that if market categories dot contains I'm not sure, dot contains category dot ID. So here we can access the category dot ID. Okay, so we could just also go ahead and look at these ones. We could just go and also console.log market categories, and we can just take off this. Remember, this is not necessarily going to because in these ones we need also to filter the ones which have categories greater than lengths greater than 3. So we are doing like double filtering. So let's go and see if we are somehow lucky. So compile, and okay, we have this error which says is not a function. Is it code? Is it dot contains or dot includes? I think I always confuse those two methods, the dot contains and the dot include. Let's go here and see if we can have that array just like that. Scroll. Yeah, we have some. Actually, I think we have only one. Okay, we have only one. Okay, so now we can see we have one, and now I can just go ahead and and uh, I could just come here and say market categories now. So you're just going to be market categories. Now if we wanted to see many, we could actually first, like, here use category data, because here these ones are already filtered for these items. Maybe if you want to see that, we could first use here the categories data, and let's go and see on the UI what we have here. Okay, so you can see so far we have two. I don't know. Let's first check the categories, compare the categories. So let me just go to API categories. Okay. So let's just go and see in these categories for this market. So duplicate. I'm just going to say API markets. This one. So it has this 440. I don't know how I would find this. Control this. Go to this. Can we do Control F? If you look at this, the only one which is there is this 05A 05A, which is this one. Now D440, maybe we actually deleted it already. Okay, yeah, we might have already deleted it, this 440. Yeah, yep, so we already have it deleted. Then another one it was this 5A 59. So another one it contains is what is legumes. So what are the legumes? Let's look at the legumes. So this is food supplement, which is there. So legumes is 058. So if you check here 058, yeah, is this one. So these other two, they are no longer there. They are not there. So great. So the filter is working. So here I'm just going to go ahead and use, of course, the categories so that we get the ones whose products exceed 4. Okay, so far we have one like this. Okay, so the other thing is that how are we going to link to these ones? I think to simplify, I feel like these sidebar categories, they might not be really required. Okay, I might just somehow change the design of the market page. Instead of having this design, they simply have here the header. Okay, I'm thinking just simply using that. So what I'm just going to do instead on this page, first of all, is that we can add the breadcrumb. Okay, so we could just go ahead and make sure that this is contained in these fragments, just like that. The first thing we could just do is putting this. I think we have something like breadcrumb. So we have the ones in the front end, another in the filter. Just use the one in the front end. And then another one after the breadcrumb. We could have a banner. How comes we don't have a banner? We don't have any banners. Front end, we don't have a banner. We could also call it like page head or something. If I check right now, should have a banner. I'm just going to might just like go away from this design. Like really I see that somehow is not necessary. Okay, I feel like it is not necessary. So we have the banner. Of course I'm just going to make it also dynamic. Okay, I need to make it dynamic. What do I need to do? For now, what we're just going to do is one thing. I'm just going to have like here a card which has like a sort of like a logo. So I'm just going to put this on top here instead. Okay. So basically I'm just going to somehow change this page, how it is structured. So now instead of having this, okay, this on top, I will just need on top of this breadcrumb. I'm just going to say dot. Now I'm just going to add just like something like py, just exactly just they copy these things here we have here. It doesn't need to have these. Okay, don't need to have the border, so other things they should be there. And this hidden, we might also remove that. So for now, what I'm just going to do is putting this in flex. So cut this and bring this one here. So I might just join these two. Okay, I might just join these two here, and then I might just use remove this. Instead, I may just wait here, remove this, justify center in the first, just make it between. Okay, let's see. So in this grid now, we don't want these links. And now this one, just make it 12, as simple as that. And we can just like make this one is false so that it uses all the 4 cards now. So let's see the changes, how they look like. Okay, so now it completes the whole entire thing with 4 stuff. The changes we put up here, I'm not seeing them. Where are they? Is it because of this hidden? And we could just even put this one, this flex here instead actually, and then would actually eliminate one redundancy div, this one. So we just remove this here. I don't know why we are not having the anything here really. Okay. Oh, okay, finally they are here. So we have this and then these ones we could also just like, instead here is space y. Let me just see if that one works. Space y, something space y. So we have this is the market. Do we really need it to go side by side like that? Just leave it the way it was. I'm just going to remove this justify between output, this one, remove it. The only thing maybe we just give is gap 6 or something, like gap 4 or and the space y had worked. Okay, so we have this. I don't think we need this is where we have this text center. We might not need that. Now that we have this, we might just need to get this title, maybe text base, and then like on LG let's have text maybe for Excel. Okay, so this one has to be really big. Okay, and we can just say more. Okay, just like that. Okay, so we have a market page, as simple as that. At least if we just go, okay, so this is great. Let's go and check any other let's just go and check any other market so that this is working. And we might also go and filter these ones. For now, let's go and see this. Some others. This is Kasese Farmers Growers. And if you check, we have fresh fruits. Okay, and everything remains working. If for instance you click here, you can go and see the whole entire fresh fruits, like when you have like the filters and all the things, add to cart, they are working, everything is good. So I think the only thing I'm just going right now to work on, so you can see the category page still works very well from these growers. Now I don't know if we don't have any which has actually like more than that, which has like 2, so that we can see. Okay, let's just select this all green. I don't know, all green has only 1, so they have like 1 that's okay, it's fine. So this one, this category pay this, let me work on the breadcrumb so that it is actually dynamic somehow. Okay, so we could just work with, if you see like this is localhost, then market, and then this. Okay. So if I just went and I say in the breadcrumb, let me just go to the breadcrumb. Where is the breadcrumb? So just go here and say breadcrumb. So for instance, in the breadcrumb, if I say const path name is equal to use path name. Okay, so I think this one must be client side. So just say use client. Okay, so if I just go ahead and I say console.log the path name, okay, okay, so if I just go here and I check the path name, okay, so you can see here the path name is stroke market stroke wall green. Okay, so we need to find a way. Can I just say const I just don't know how to handle this, but if I just say const path array is equal to path name, so this is like a string dot, so we can apply split, I think it is split, and we can split on a slash. So, and if I just came here and I say console.log the path array, this is going to be path array. Let's go and see. Okay, so far what we have is so since we have the first slash, the other one had like a first slash and then like that, so that's why we have this first one, of which we can also remove. Okay, we could what would we do here? We could just say dot there is, we could use price. Okay, but then there is one I want to use is called what? So we have pop, this removes the last item. Then we have an shift, I think we have this shift. Okay, let's look at that. If it removed the first item, because really we don't want the first item. As you can see, it is an empty string. where is the my console.log? Does this affect the original array or what? So if I just say console.log, what happens? So right now it is not returning anything, and maybe what we could just do is after getting this, okay, maybe I'm just going to pass this, and I say const breadcrumb array. Okay, so in fact we could just like do this here, just path name array dot shift. So this one will just remove this, and when you just console.log path, it should now work. Okay, so you can see now it has been removed. Okay, great. So now how do we do this? Okay, so how do I map through this? Actually just map through these second ones. Okay, so we might just not make them links, except this other first one. This one we are very sure is home, so I'm just going to say link, next link. Then these ones, the problem is if we make them links, what if that page does not exist? So instead, just going to make them p tags so that they don't have to be. Okay, so I'm just going to do a map. Actually, this one can be even a span. I will have just to do, I think, a map on this one, this whole entire thing. Okay, I have to do path array dot map. Then I have the single item with its index. So I just go and return just something like that. So this one is going to be key equal to index, and then remove this href. Then you're just going to add the item itself. Okay, so just remove this other one. Okay, so just see if this one works. Yep, so you can see here these ones, it works. Only we just need to make it maybe not uppercase. How would we we have uppercase, let me just go and go and work on that. Okay, just like making sure it has like this first rate. I'm just going to say to waste so much time, but this helps us that if for instance we went to other page, like let's say to the detailed page, here wherever you're using the breadcrumb, this is going to be somehow easy. As you can see already, we have like products. Okay, it is already having the products t-tree, so you can see automatically is getting these ones done. Okay, you could just go and look for how to capitalize this first one. Okay, but that is great. So since we are here on this detail, so this page is done. We have done a lot of work on this. Really, I think it is done. So just go ahead and find this, do this thing here. Let's start with similar products. So similar products. Where is similar products? We are on which page? Let's first go back to the front and we look for the page we are on. So the market is done. Let's go to the product slug here. So we have all this. You can see breadcrumb, good. And then let's go and see. This is where we have similar products. I think that one should be easy because we are getting the ID. So from this category we can get const category ID. You can just get it by saying it is product dot category ID. So category ID, I guess, something like that. Okay, so if we wanted to get similar products, we could really just simply we could fetch actually all products. Okay, so we could get all products. Instead we could even pass what could we pass? Because we have the one for the category, I guess. We could say const products products. Okay, that one was slug. So we could also just do something like this: is equal await get data. Because if we wanted, we could if we check on the product, let's look at the product. If we just say here API products, they just look at what a single product is entailed of. Okay. So if you just look at here, we can see we have this category ID. Okay, so can you suggest use that? Anyways, we can go ahead and get all the products from the database, and we can filter const similar products, and we could just say it is equal to products. So you could just get all these products, then we filter. So dot filter, and inside here we have a single mobile product. So I want to return product category ID is not equal, okay, so I think here it should be like is equal to cat ID, okay. We could call this filtered products, okay. We could simply filter these ones. Now if I just bring this down here on somewhere, we must be having similar products, and we are coding here product carousel, and I'm just going to simply give them this. Now similarly, we could, I think, I don't know which one is bigger. We could get this category, okay. I think that one is also possible, because products, getting all products, isn't that one so much? Let's first look at getting in these API categories. So we have the ID. We could just come and say, after getting the category ID, there are so many ways. Even this one, I guess it works. If we check down here, we could just like have these products here. Products.filter. Did I put? Let me just change it. Instead, let's get the categories, because categories can be, let's say categories can be somehow, maybe few, I don't know which one is easier. Fetching all products, and just say fetch all categories instead. So I'm just going to fetch here category, and then await get data. Oh, we didn't pass even here, so just pass here something like categories. Then here we just have dollar cat ID, okay, something like this. So from these categories, we could now get products, okay. We could get and say category products here, category products, like wherever we just want. Now it would be not even like filtering like this. Let me cut this filter actually, so it will be just a category dot products, category dot products, just like that, okay. And then the only problem we have with this, so if I put them here, let me just go ahead and put them here. Just let's wait a second. Okay, so if you check down, we have all these similar products. The problem is that even this T3 is actually included in them. So if you just continue here, I think the T3 is here. So you see we have the T3. So you could also just go ahead and filter one more time. Okay, so we have already the category products. We can filter them. We say const, we can just say products. Products is equal to category products. Okay, dot filter, and we can just like filter. We have a product, so just going to filter out product dot id. Maybe this time we can just like filter out product dot id. We could also come here and we get a product id const, and we could just like get like id from the product is equal to product. So you could just like go ahead and extract this id, and you could just say just filter out product is not equal. I think we're supposed to have like not equal to id, something like that. So they just go and use the products instead here. So if we just come here and we just instead use products similar, this word similar, I always don't know why I always fail this word similar. Okay, so if we just go now, the T3 should disappear. Okay, the T3 should disappear. Just wait for it to. Okay, so you can see now we don't have the T3, so the T3 is not there because we are on this T3, so we should not have it there. Okay, great. So yeah, this similar products is done. Now I don't know this other parts, like for instance increment. You can see the increment here. So since we have, I guess we have add to cart, we don't need to really have the increment. That means we have to do more work. So instead we're just going to make it only have add to cart functionality, where if you just click on add to cart, it actually simply adds it to cart, and then you can just go ahead and do all the other things. Okay, and I'm just going to go and remove this. So let's go and look for where that part is, and we might have to take it off from this page. Okay, sales price, so I think it is this part here. Okay, so we have button minus, this one button plus. Okay, so we have this entire div. Let me just go ahead and remove this entire div here. Okay, just remove that, and then we should just have like, I don't know, something maybe we could put it in a something we could just put in that space. I don't know. We could just look for something to put there in the future. So you have add cart, maybe this side I will put something else. I'll just put some p tag here, something. I'll put something here, just not forget it. Now this add cart has to be taken away from from this page, simply because we are going to add some add to cart, where we'll be adding on click, and since this one we want it to remain the third page, like it is having a lot of fetching which is at server side, so we just need to get away to take away this. So I'm just going to create add to cart button in the components. So inside the components, maybe even front end, create a new file, add to cart button .jsx. Okay, so say RFC. Okay, so let me just go to this and let me go and get this button here. Okay, and simply cut it, and let's add to cart button. Go to add to cart button and just return this. Okay, so if you want to know what we need here, we just need to check in the product and we see that functionality and we shift it there. So in the product, you can see we have handle add to cart. So I'm just going to get these two things to add to cart here. And first of all, I have to import use dispatch from Redux, and also on top here I'm just going to say use client, and then followed by this handle on click. So if we just go back to the product and we look at the on click, so this is how the on click needs to be. Okay, so I don't know anything we are passing in this. If you look at what we are passing a product. Okay, so great. So I'm just going to simply say on click like this, copy that and just go here and add on click, and then you can see this one needs a product, so let's pass in a product here. Yeah, as simple as that. So we are passing in the product comes here, and then for the toast, let's also get it from React Hook toast. As simple as that. So the only thing we just need to do is on this page we need to pass in the product. So you can just say product is equal to product. As simple as that. Let's see now. We have some problem. I think in add to cart we have an this. Okay, just get this. Okay, so now let's check. So you could just also go to the cart first and remove all these items which are there. These ones, just remove them just like that, and let's go back to here. Now we don't have any item. Add to cart. Okay, we have a problem. It did not happen. It's just because we did not import this add to cart dispatch, this one, get it from also Redux. Okay, let's just like one more time. I think now we are okay. Click add to cart, item added to cart, and you can see we have it here. Okay, so as simple as that, we have the add cart working now from the detailed page. Okay, great. Now there are some other functionalities. For instance, let me go to, I don't know this design. Where did we get this one? Where did we get it from? Jumia. Let's see Jumia, and I'm also going to say Konga. Okay, so from here I'm just going to scroll down to one item, just like this. Is this an item? So just like I'm just going to click on one single item to look at the detailed page, and then also this one to look at the detailed page. So one thing that we need, I think we're using this one. One thing you need is this here. Okay, one thing we are sure is this. Now if you click on this, it should have that. Okay, now that functionality will use swiper, I guess. Like we have to use swiper is where we can get this functionality. I think that one I'm just going to give you as a task, so you can just go here. We have swiper.js. Okay, I want you to try to add this swiper.js. I'm going to show you the customization we just want. I think I will add it from offline or something, and then I will show you. But you could just come here to swiper. The easiest way is to go to, is it swiper react or something? Just click on this, and then also on the resources, click on demos, right click, open demos. So you have to install all these installation swiper. You can see here it says swiper react components will likely be removed in future versions. To recommend migrate to swiper element. So what is this swiper element? So but you can just like go here and install. Okay, so if you go to the demos, I think you can go to, I don't know, there is where you can look at the thumbnails or something. Multiple swipers. So you have these. You can just go through the examples and see what you need. So just see the we just like research about this. The swiper element thing goes, how it goes, blah blah. I will research about this and see how it can be used. The swiper element, the web component. Okay, we shall see. But you just go and try to put this on our detailed page. Here, down here, we need to have the carousel of images. The fact that we have now product images array on this, it is very much possible. Okay, so hoping you're going to work on that. The other thing I'm just also going to search about is this API here of getting the location. if you know the API where you can get all this location, guys, help me and send me this API. Like you can join our group and then you show me this where you can use this API. Okay, so for now we are good to go. So one thing I want to work on now is the slider. Okay, so I want to work on the, I'm just going first of all, let's first go to the dashboard, this person, and I want to first see on the dashboard there are some things we want to hide. For the farmer, I don't know if this is a farmer. They just try to go to the dashboard. Okay, so this is a farmer. So the one thing we want to remove is customers. So let me just go to this. I just simply want to go to the sidebar, components. It's supposed to be in the back office and maybe sidebar. So for this role farmer, I'm just going to remove customers. We really don't need to see customers. Then remove markets. Okay, sales is okay. The community, you don't need to see this. Then you can see the wallet, farmer support, settings, and online store. Those are okay. So maybe what we can just say also to put for here my orders. I'm just going to copy this from the normal user here. So we can also just put for him this my orders, because he can also buy from the very online. So just going to create for him this my orders. Okay, so that one is great. So now we should have more things disappearing from here, and we should have few of them. Yep. Okay, so this is what I'm just going to do. So since we have hidden some of these ones, the only thing now I want to do is we'll work on the merge step. Okay, so if you remember this person, we made them a detailed page. Is it called a detailed page? Onboarding page. So if I just go to onboarding, you can see text in the, I think the ID, onboarding stroke ID, and whose ID is this? It is the user ID. So I'm just going to go ahead and get the user ID for this guy, and we go to this page, and in fact we can just say go and say, I'm just going to duplicate this. And we can just go onboarding, not dashboard, supposed to be here, onboarding. For this one, I don't know if that one, this ID exists, but let's go there. And the purpose of going to this, okay, okay, so this ID maybe is not there. This ID we have here, and I think we try to put a validation if this slack does not exist, and then maybe we see off 404, like this page doesn't exist, something like that. But for now, what we want to customize is this page, and we turn it into a multi-step form. Okay, so I want to turn this into a multi-step form the way we did for the so just click here. I'm just going to go back to this localhost 3000. Let's check the checkout page. We have at least one item. I can add the second one, and this one is already there, I guess, and just click on this. So we have two, click there. So we go here, continue to check out. Okay, so we just need this. The way you see it here, we need these forms to be in this very format. Okay, I need them to have this kind of thing, a step by step, instead of having one single form. We just want them to have this multi-step form. Okay, so first of all, we have here this where is this page we are designing? So this one. Okay, we are having this this onboarding page. So what I just want is to have a step by step after this text, and then we have multiple forms here. So I'm just going to do this. First of all, I will just go look for front checkout. So I will simply duplicate checkout. Did we call it checkout or order? I don't remember. Let me see. So it is this checkout. Let me see checkout. On the checkout, what do we have on the checkout? Yeah, so it should just look like the checkout exactly. So I'm just going to first also duplicate checkout, Control C, and then Control. Oh, actually, just simply duplicated this checkout, copy, and then you just simply go to the onboarding ID inside here. We just simply paste. So we have this copy. Okay, so I will first rename this one. Okay, page, I'm just going to name it V1. Okay, and then this copy, I will name it to the actual page. This is going to be the actual page. Okay, great. So we also have to come up with the steps we want for this. I wish I could take a snapshot of this before it disappears. Can I take a snapshot of this? Probably it's going to disappear before even taking the snapshot. Let me just take this screen. Oh, it's gone. Let me just maybe first take it back face second. Let me just rename this one to V2. and rename this one back to page. It's going to go back for a second. I just want to take a screenshot of it before we convert this into something else. Okay, so I'm just going to take a simply come here, and you can take, do I need a full page? You can simply just like take this screenshot, okay, so I have this screenshot which I reference to this, see how many steps you want. Okay, now let me just go ahead and switch one more time. And then this one, let me make this one to be the page. Okay, so now we have a reference here. Okay, so we have like full name, farmer's phone, this and this. These are like the personal details. Okay, we could have that one as personal details. So then we have this one which has like size of the land, your main crop that you cultivate, okay, and then the product itself, then these terms, we're just going to maybe divide it into 4. Let me see, 1, 2, I don't know, we need just to divide this form into like 4 steps. Okay, we'll divide it in the 4 steps. So we have, like, for instance, personal details. Maybe we just call this one production details. Maybe other details, I don't know. And then maybe completion, I don't know. We just get these steps, and then we shall just see them. Okay, so now what do we need to do? Let's first see these steps. What does it do? Is it, yeah, so the steps is getting the store.checkout. So we need to create another one, a duplicate of this one, and inside this, so I'm just going to duplicate checkout into the onboarding. So easiest way is to get checkout, copy and paste it in components. Is it inside the components, just like that? Yeah, so just paste this. So we have checkout, copy, rename this to onboarding. Okay, so just name it onboarding, as simple as that, so that everything is going to remain the same. Okay, you just need to rename it onboarding. is taking so long, the renaming. So let's just see. Meanwhile, I think let's work on the. Okay, it is still refusing. So I'll rename it from maybe the from the folder. For now, I'm just going to go to Redux. So inside where we have Redux here, I'm just going to create one more thing inside, one more slice. So already we have this. Already we have this cart slice and the checkout slice. So I'm just going to create another slice. Okay. So inside this, I'm just going to say onboarding slice. Onboarding slice .js, and I'm just going to get this checkout slice, simply copy everything, paste it in the onboarding, and let's change some things. First, this one I'm just going to name it as onboarding slice. Onboarding slice. The name here is going to be onboarding. Okay. Then we have the initial state. We shall define the initial state in a second. Current step update. So this is going to be update onboarding form data. Update onboarding form data. The step, the current step is going to, and then this one is going to be, instead of checkout, is going to be onboarding. This. So inside here is also going to be onboarding form data. Even this state is going to be onboarding form data. Then this update, so we have to export out of this one. We have to export this update onboarding, and then this is going to be the slice, the onboarding slice, and then even this one. Okay, so after those changes, we have the current state. It has to be 1, starting from 1, initial state. Okay, great. So we have all this all is well. So now what I just need to do is first go and see, bring this one here on the store. So simple, so duplicate this. I'm just going to refer this one as onboarding, and this is going to be the onboarding slice, just like that. So we have our 3 slices so far. So I'm just going to rename this. Inside the components, we have this checkout copy. I don't know why. Let me right click on it, reveal. Okay, I'm just going to press F2. I'm just going to name it onboarding. the action can't be completed, open in other programs. Okay. So you can first close all these, I guess. Close everything. Let me try one more time. Onboarding. Okay, so I'm just going to pause for a second. I'm just going to rename and try to clean out, and then I think I'll be back. Okay. Okay, so I went back and changed the name of the component. So the name of the component now is onboarding, which has the same things, step form and other things. So let me just take you through the changes that I made. So this onboarding page or this form is referenced, is what we're just like referencing here. Okay, so this form basically comes from this. If you look, this is the old form. So the old form is inside back office and new farmer form. So basically it is converting this form into the multi-step. This form here is this exact one, so it is changing it into a multi-step form, and that's the only thing we need to do. Okay, so the first thing I changed, if you look at this form here, we have the full name and the email address. So those ones I first removed them because we already has this person registered, so we have them on the user. Okay, so if I just go, for instance, I scroll down to the schema and I look at the user. So if you just look at the user somewhere, I don't know where the user is. If you look at the user, we already have the name and the email. Okay, that's great. So now on the farmer's profile, I simply removed the phone, the name and email, replace it with the first name and last name. Okay, so the remaining things, and I made these ones to be all of them not required, as simple as that. So I went ahead and ran npx prisma.db push to make these changes in the database. Okay, so after doing that, now let's go back to our form. Okay, so I simply use ChatGPT to divide these fields and getting the steps. So what I just did, I can show you here. So I gave it a prompt here. I simply gave it the schema here. I am creating multiple step form for farmer profile. The form has the following. The field is matching this schema. I gave it a schema, and then it went ahead and gave me the steps, the basic information, contact information, farmers details, and additional information. So what I did, I combined basic information because there are only 3 or 4 fields. I combined it with contact information and I called it basic information. So from there I got the steps. So if we just go to the page, onboarding page, I have the steps. Sorry. So you just go here. If you check out the steps, the basic information, farm details, additional information, and the summary. Okay, so after that I removed the cut, the The cart banner, we don't need it. We simply need the steps and the form. Those two things, the steps and the form. Let's first go to the steps. So if you go to the steps, you can see text in the steps. So we first get the current stop, and we are getting it from use selector store.onboarding.current step. So we are getting it from the onboarding. And then you can see I have this previous this account thing. If you go on the UI, you see we have this account thing going on. This is just the account, the previous thing he did, registering the account. He has already created the account, and we are putting it as like a past step. Okay, so this is the past step account, and it has no link to it, like to go back and request an account. He has already created an account. You cannot create it again. Okay, so then now the steps, we simply get the steps of which we have passed through, and then we map to the steps, and then we have these. That's why we end up with the steps: basic info, farm detail, additional, and summary. Okay, now moving back, if I go back to page, now we have the form. So if you go to the step form here, first of all, we can get the current step also from onboarding, and if the current step is equal 1, we have this basic information form. So I went ahead and created these 3 forms, simply putting these inputs. So if you just go to the basic information, I have the inputs. I haven't worked the logic of submitting, but I just simply put the inputs: first name, last name, phone number, farmer's physical address, contact person, and contact person phone. And I was getting these ones from the new form, the old form that we had. Okay, so now when that one is done, we have the same thing with additional information and the farm details. If you just look at this, we have the same things. Okay, let me just go back the step form in a second. So if this is step 2, we put farm details. Step 3, we put additional information, and then finally we have the summary. Okay, and of course we have here render form by step, which is this function. Now what is remaining now is to actually make sure that at individual basis we can submit the data. Now if you just go in each individual one, like basic information, so what do we need under this basic information? First of all, you can see here we have of course the session. I don't think we need the session anyways. So we need the current step, which we are getting from onboarding. So we should make sure we are getting this from onboarding. And then we have existing form data. So like we have to know what is the current data that is in the Redux, and this has to be removed because we made this one to be onboarding form data. Okay, so I'm just going to onboarding form data, and this one is coming from the slice. If we go very quickly to the slices onboarding, you can see that we actually have this here, onboarding form data. Okay, so then of course we are having our the use form hook. Then we have the dispatch. Now I don't think we need the user ID, but we can still check for it because the person would have, I don't think here I would have signed in. No, so we actually don't need this. So you can just like remove this user ID thing. We really don't need the user ID. Let's first look at the old form. Maybe we need it. Let's just look. But the ID, we already have it, so we'll get that one from some place. For now, let's just have this. So this patch here, they don't need to be in the if, just put them direct. So you have to update the onboarding data. So you can see update onboarding form data. Make sure you import this here, and also set current step. You must make sure you get it from also the onboarding slice. Then otherwise we have all this information here. Now let's go and check the nav buttons. So the nav buttons, we have to get the current step from onboarding. We have to get it from onboarding. Okay, current step. Then we have to get this from not the checkout slice. Let me see. I need to get this step from the onboarding. Okay, so everything remains the same. Let me go back to the basic information. So now everything should remain the same. If this is done very well, we should move to the second step. Okay, let's just feed in some data here. Okay, just move to the next step. Okay, array input is not defined, so we go to the farm details. Just go to the farm details. Here we have this array input. Let's just see now. Okay, so we have step number 2, which is farm details. So we have just refreshed the page. We go to the first page. Let's fake fill the information. Go to the next step. So the next step is this one, where we have the farm details. So we can just simply like add some things here. Let me just go to the F12. I'm just also going to be consulting the information so far. So in this farm details, is this the farm details? We could just go ahead and get the current data, but I could just console.log existing data. Okay, so let me just fill in this information and to take us to the next step. And here it is saying that there is no any information. And here we have this information really. Let's just go and see. Let's first finish this. Check. Okay, we are getting this from not checkout. We are getting this from even the current step. This is what from. First of all, current step is going to be gotten from onboarding. Okay, and then existing here is going from onboarding. And then this one is going to be onboarding form data. So onboarding form data. Okay. I think that's where the problem was. Okay, so you can see at least we have some already existing data in the state. So you just go ahead and add some things here, like add some maybe product one, add, okay, just like that, and then just add some other information. Okay, go to next. So the next button is not working. Let's see. We have the nav buttons. We have already worked on the nav buttons. There is handle previous. How about the next? Okay, so the next is supposed to submit the data. So let's see in this farm details, we might be having the if statement here. We don't actually have anything. What do we need here? Initial shipping cost, remove this. Shipping cost, all this remove, and then data.shipping cost, just to remove this shipping cost here. Update, so here we are supposed to run update onboarding, something like that. Update on boarding. Supposed to import this. Okay, so now we are okay. Let's just go back. Okay, let me just add some things here. Phone. Let me just add some stuff here. Just click next. I don't know why we are not going to the next. Let me see. Dispatch, and then current step +1. Where are we getting this current step? Make sure you are just getting this. So remove this. Okay, and let's get the current step here from onboarding. Yeah, so make sure everything is coming from the right place, the onboarding slice. Okay, so one more time, I'm just going to click on next. Okay, so you can see now we are on this, and let's make sure that we have the right headings. So for instance, under farm details, this one is supposed to be basic information, basic information. So you just have here basic information. Farm details, that one was there. Then the third one is additional information. So you can just go here, we have additional information. additional information. Okay, then we have the image, text, and other things. So we don't need this ID. I'm just going to get this out of this here. Okay, and let's get some things from right places. We don't need the session. We need the image. We can get the user ID. Current step, so everything from onboarding. Okay, what did I do? Just get everything from onboarding, and let's also remove these things to do with checkout. Okay, and let's get import hours. So for instance, this, instead of update checkout, is going to be update onboarding, and let's import this. Okay, and then set current step also from onboarding. Okay, so we have additional information. Okay, just like that. Just feed in here next, feed in here next, and then farmer profile. So the farmer can upload his profile here. We need to set up that one is already set up. We are using the same endpoint. If you check the image, we're using this farmer profile uploader, so the endpoint is already existing, the one we used earlier. So the farmer can go ahead and upload the image, and then now we have to go to the final step. Okay, let me just scroll, add this other information. Let's upload to next. Okay, so now here we have the summary. They just go and change the summary, so the summary should show the information in the previous steps. Okay, so if you just go back to the summary, this is the step. Okay, so checkout, so this is supposed to change to onboarding form data, which is even here, is going to be from onboarding, and then here is going to be store.onboarding form data. Okay, just like that. Then the steps, let's also get these ones from right places. First, remove this current step. Let's import it. So the current step here from onboarding, we don't need anything to do with cart, so the cart items, we don't need them. We have the onboarding form data. Can go ahead and of course, prepare the data to send now. So I'm just going to go to the other form, the original form, which was new farmer form. So just make sure that everything we just have here, okay, and we are making a post request. Just simply copy this the way we have them, and just come this side and remove this, these orders and everything. Just remove this and let's paste this here. Get this, make post request, import it. Okay, so we're generating the code from the name. So maybe right now we get from first name, data dot first name, first name, and wherever we have data is going to be we can just have this onboarding form data. So this is the entire data. So inside here we could have const data is equal to this onboarding form data, so that we can just use the word data. So we have here now code, then we add it to the data, then user ID. So you see we need the user ID. So this one just going to get from the slug. Okay. So this, how do we get this? So you can see the user ID is on top here. Okay, so we need to get it and pass it to this step, the last step. So I'm just going to go to the actual onboarding page. So at this point here, here I can just go and say params, and then from this you can get the ID, and then I can pass this ID. I could even set it if I wanted. I could set it on the in the state, but I don't think it is necessary. We can just like simply send it to the step form. So ID, we could just say this one as farmer IDs. Farmer ID is equal to the ID, and then let me copy this farmer ID, go to the step form, and in here just accept this, and let's go ahead and pass this down to the summary, just like this is equal to farmer ID. So this ID, we just get it, receive it here, we pass it until this summary. So in the summary we accept it here, and then down here where we have data.user ID, we just going to be equal to farm ID. Okay, so products, then profile. Okay, and then let's go ahead and console. Before we send the request, let's go ahead and console.log data. So let's start from afresh. Okay, we are starting afresh here. Of course, in this case, we have a logged in person, but just like testing. So fill in this information now. Next, fill in all this information. Add like one product, and then go next. Let's add the image. Could add the profile image, like this one. Upload. Okay. Some payment notes, some payment notes, and then here are some notes. Okay, next. Okay, so we have the error of the cart items. Okay, so we are on the last step, which is the summary. So we need to go ahead and remove this. This here. So instead here, just going to put a div. So here you're supposed to go ahead and add all the information the way it is from the first, but here I'm just going to add it, I think, in the JSON purposes of showing it here. I think you're just going to have like pre, and then inside here just going to have what? We can have just like this. Okay, we're just going to only have here these details. Just going to say, for instance, h2. Just going to say here are your details. So just going to, of course, like you design and put all the details here, and then should now not have any problem. And it is really starting from the first. Okay, this fake field. Just need to upload the image because I want to know if it actually works. Some payment details and some notes. Click next. Okay, so here are your details. Now for us to just of course here we have the image input and others. So just want to click on this which says proceed to payment, which is supposed to be submit data now. So if I click it, we have a problem. And a code promise reference generate user code is not defined. Generate user code. This need to be imported here. Okay. Let's just check one more time. We can also change this. this button here. We can just say now submit data, and let's wait and see now the updates here. Okay, so now just going to go ahead and try to submit the data. Submit data here. We still have issues. Which issue now? Cannot add property code. Object is not extensible. Okay, we could still get this. I don't know why. If you look at this function, what does it do? Oh, it takes in the suffix and the full name. They are splitting it by space and blah blah. Okay, so we could just like pass in. Let's create here the full name. Const full name is equal to data dot first name. So you could actually just join it just like this, and here you could just have like data dot first name, and then we add space, and then we say data dot last name, and then here we could actually just pass in the full name, just like that. So that should be enough. Okay, so let's submit the data this time. So what is the problem now? Cannot add the property code. Object is not extensible. Okay. Oh. Okay, so instead, let's create a new object here by spreading the onboarding. Instead of just equating, you just do this onboarding form data just like that. I think should now work. They just go and see submit. Okay, so what do we have now? Products is not defined. Where is products? Where are we having products? Loading. Oh, this. So the products is already there, I guess. Then the code is there, user ID is there, profile image, I think we already have it there. So the only thing, even the code, I think even the code we have it. It was the code generated? I think the code was generated. And then here, let's look at it now. Okay, submit data now. Okay, so we have the entire object. Let's see, some things have not been added. Code. Okay, so the code is there, the contact. There are some things which are not there. I think user ID is there. The only is the image. So in this previous step, you see when the image is not saved like in this spot. Okay, let me just go to this additional information. So what are we doing here with this? We have this image URL. Okay, so we have the data. So here let's first add the image. Data dot, I think we called it profile image. Let me first go to this, not farmer details, but new farmer. So it is this. So we have to cater for these two things, the products and the. So just go here in the additional information. It is where we have the image and the notes. Others are okay. So here we have to add this data dot profile image URL is equal to image URL, which is this one. Okay, then on another step, which is the farm details, we have the product here. So I have also to add this here. Data dot products is equal products. Yeah, before we actually dispatch the data. So now testing for the last time. I just go and refresh and let's make sure like everything is working the way we want it. Okay, so let's just go and say fake field. Next, let me just add product. This time let me just add chicken. Okay, acre maybe 3. Main crop that you cultivate. Let's put cabbage here and even here cabbage. Just add and let's say click next. Let's go ahead and add an image to confirm it is working. Let's go ahead, add this image, upload some payment. Let me just add some information, some payment terms and some notes. Okay, next. Okay, so just see the summary, submit, and on the submission you see now we have the profile image, we have also the products. Okay, so we have all the information now. So now this, you can now go ahead and actually submit. So on this last step, summary, you can go ahead and do this. Okay, we can just go ahead and do this. The farmer profile, we update everything just like that. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this episode. We have done a number of things, and you can see, you can clearly get the picture that the e-commerce is about to end, and within this week the e-commerce has to end, and we close it, we start on the actual course. Okay, so within this week we're just going to close it. We have a lot of stuff coming up next. We have TypeScript, we have the course and everything packed. So yeah, see you soon in the next episode. Thank you so much.